What's up, guys? Welcome back to General Hospital MV, my GH Actor show. It feels so good to be back. Finally. Now before we get into this week's show, let's talk about the things that I missed, because I got a few things to say. So, while I was gone, Shiloh done lost his mind and became super unhinged. He set up a trap for Sam, kidnapped her and threw her into a freezer, and then called Jason and said if you want to see Sam alive again, you will cooperate. Basically, he wanted to implant Drew's memories into Jason. I guess he didn't get the memo that Jason's brain is damaged, so the implanting thing would not work on him. Now, obviously, Jason gets the upper hand and rescues Sam, but the whole time I was thinking, why didn't Shiloh just, go to Drew and blackmail him? I mean, it would have been less lethal. He could have kidnapped Kim or Scout, easy prey, and then got Drew to cooperate. It didn't make any sense to go to Jason. I guess we can peg it off to the fact that Shiloh's not thinking straight. Just stupid though. Anyway, Shiloh gets even more unhinged and randomly kidnaps Cameron to implant Drew's memories into him. Luckily for Cameron, Franco manages to track Cameron down, and that's when Franco realizes, oh crap, the psychic meant flash drive, not just an ordinary drive, flash drive. That's why I'm not going to be myself. Oh dear. And long story short, Franco gets Drew's memories and he now thinks he's Drew from 2012. It's an interesting turn of events. I mean, as a non-Franco fan myself, it's certainly an intriguing way to, keep Roger Howarth on the show, but make him become someone different. Not that I think that he's going to be Drew forever, though, just to clarify that. That being said, we are watching General Hospital, so, this is going to take forever. See ya in 2 years, I guess, Franco. It turns out that Drew, circa 2012, has a little bit of a temper. He does not like, all of Franco's loved ones coming to him and saying, "You're Franco." He storms off and he gets mad super easily. At one point, he actually punches Chase in the face and gets arrested for it. As for Shiloh, he's back in jail for his new list of crimes, and there's no way he's getting bail this time round. And everyone outside of the jail that despises Shiloh is praising the fact that he won't be out of jail, which makes me believe that he's going to get out of jail. But that's kind of getting into this week, so we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I'm trying to think about the other plot points that happened in the last few weeks that I missed, but not a whole lot happened outside the whole Shiloh and Franco thing. I mean, Stella is off to England to find her long-lost relative, and I'm guessing that she's ushered off the show for now, so there's that. And again, I don't care. Ava's been talking to the psychic over the last few weeks as well and has gotten pretty much nowhere with her the whole time, so there's that. And then Laura even tried her hand at the psychic and was told that not Lucky, but her other son was in danger, and Laura ignored it. Also, Kim and Julian have been talking about leaving Port Charles for weeks now, and they still haven't left, and I doubt that they're going to. So, basically nothing happened, except for the Shiloh and Franco stuff. Like, we've gotten nowhere with any of the other storylines. Oh, also, it took a minute, but Sasha finally fell ill to whatever drug that Cassandra gave her, and Finn is trying to figure out what it is, but it hasn't yet. So, that storyline is also at a standstill. Basically, nothing happened with any of the other storylines that we've watched over the last few weeks. Nothing's moved except for the Shiloh and Franco things. Alright, now that I've shared what I've felt about the last few weeks, let's get into this week's General Hospital, shall we? So Franco is sitting in jail, and Jason actually pays him a visit to try and explain the whole memory mapping thing that went down with Franco and Drew's memories. Of course, it's gotta be weird being Jason in the situation. I mean, he's visiting a man he absolutely despises, except that this man thinks that he is his twin brother, which I guess technically isn't the first time Franco thought he was his twin brother. I mean, this is just another rewrite that we sat through a long time ago, but now he's actually with Drew's memories. Weird. On the flip side, it's gotta be just as weird to be Drew and see that everyone thinks he's Franco, but he's not, and hearing that some mad scientist swapped his memories and put it into someone else's body. Like, I wouldn't believe it, would you? This is wild, even for a soap opera. Have you guys watched, UK soap operas and seeing how realistic they are in comparison to the US ones? They'd be laughing us out of the street, I think. Anyway, soon after, Shiloh comes in and ends up being in the jail cell right across from Franco, which gives them the opportunity to chat. Obviously, Franco recognizes Shiloh because of Drew's history with Shiloh, and Shiloh treats Franco as Drew circa 2012, and, has a little chat with him and tries to manipulate him into helping him. Shiloh then reveals to Drew circa 2012 that he has a son with Kim Nero in order to try and get him to comply with his wishes to get his money back, but Drew does not take the bite. I hate having to do Drew over and over again. If I say Drew 2012, or should I just say Franco, let me know for future references because we're going to be doing this for quite a while. Scott Baldwin is trying to deal with the fact that his son is no longer technically his son because he's got someone else's memories in him. He does offer to get him out of jail, and he does so, but he is worried that Franco's going to leave town because, I mean, who could blame him? So he manages to maneuver things into having Franco have to wear an ankle monitor while he's out of jail. Franco/Drew wants to take the money that was hidden from Shiloh and donate it to a good cause in Afghanistan. The real Drew offers to go in his place to do so. And by the way, where was this money, you ask? Hidden in Cameron's car. I have never seen such a ridiculous stretch in a story in a long time. That was ridiculous. The real Drew found out from the old Drew that the money was hidden in their army buddy's wife's car, and then Drew was like, oh, I think that's the car that Cameron/Oscar had. I had this memory flash at some point off screen. Off screen GH strikes again. Anyway, the real Drew found the money and decides to go to Afghanistan, and supposedly those were Billy Miller's last scenes ever. So I'm really mad about this. I want to be more mad, but I don't know if they're going to recast the character or just have him be off screen indefinitely. Like, this could be another Dante situation, which is equally as annoying, and I don't want that to happen. So, I mean, if you're going to throw out Billy Miller, but keep the character, you know, in the story, then have someone play him for a while. Like, this is nuts. You know, I don't really know what goes on in General Hospital behind the scenes, but there's a lot of rumors and speculations going on when it comes to Billy Miller's exit. Some people are saying he was fired, some people are saying he chose to leave. Whatever the reason, I feel like Billy Miller was treated so poorly in this exit. I mean, the whole time that he's been on since Steve Burton came back, he's been treated poorly. He's been given less story. He's been given, you know, basically crumbs for a meal. It sucks. Billy Miller is a good actor, I feel, and, you know, seeing his character be resorted to pretty much nothing over the last year sucked. I mean, good luck with your career, Billy Miller. GH. You done a mistake. You did a mistake, man. Drew as a character had so much potential. I mean, he had this whole past that you could have written for him, and you chose to not have him explore his past. You chose the fact that he couldn't get his memories back without losing his new ones. It didn't have to be written that way, but y'all chose to do that. You know, all the sort of decisions that were made for the character were to basically sabotage the character into having no story, I feel. Yeah, the Oscar thing went down, but there could have been so much more. I don't know, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think about the treatment of Billy Miller over the last, year or so? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, now back to the stories. Now obviously fake Drew is really drawn to Kim, and he goes to her for answers about Franco, and this is obviously really tough on Kim. I mean, this is a man who suddenly has her ex-lover's memories. You know, he remembers all the things about their relationship. And I feel like because we haven't heard that Tamara Braun is actually leaving the show, that this is the reason she's going to stick around, and that things are about to get messy with her and Julian, and Elizabeth and Franco, and Kim and fake Drew. I mean, it's going to be messy, and I'm going to like it, but awkward. As much as I don't like Elizabeth and Franco as a couple, I actually really feel for Elizabeth. What a crappy situation. I mean, her husband now believes he is someone else, and that someone else thinks that he's in love with someone else. So it's a tricky situation, and on top of that, her kids have to deal with the situation. Cameron obviously already knows what happened. They informed Aiden that Franco doesn't remember them right now, and he's got to get help, but I don't think that's going to happen for a while, so this is a sad situation for them. Elizabeth's sister Hayden has decided to move into the house with them to help out with the kids and stuff. I have truly loved the bonding scenes between Elizabeth and Hayden lately. It's nice to see, especially knowing where they started from and where they are now. It's just nice. I love having Hayden back, and I know that's like a mixed opinion among the audience, but I loved Hayden, so I'm glad that she's back. Oh, and speaking of Hayden, we found out this week that Hayden and Finn's baby is definitely alive, and she had a baby girl. Now we just gotta have Finn find out that the baby is still alive, and I'm sure that won't happen for 2 years as well, because that just seems to be GH's MO lately. I'm not gonna lie, it is frustrating to watch GH when none of the storylines are actually moving. I'm gonna go on a tangent about that a little bit later, but let's get into other stories right now. Now, regardless of what GH decides to do with the Finn and Hayden storyline, Finn right now is distracted by what's going on with Sasha. He's been working day and night trying to figure out what is wrong with her. And there was a little throwaway line by Monica saying that he looks like a vampire. I appreciated that, you know, a little reference to the former characters that Michael Easton has played. By the end of the week, Finn does seem to figure out what is wrong with Sasha, but we don't see what it is yet. Hopefully he'll then get a text or, you know, a picture from Cassandra, or maybe Nina will, of her selfie with Michael and Sasha, and then they can get the ball rolling on this storyline. Alright, so we spent a lot of time talking about Billy Miller's exit to the show. Now let's talk about Dante's a little bit. Basically, while I was gone, they revealed that Dante is gone indefinitely because of whatever is going on with his mind. And so the divorce goes through for Dante and Lulu is now a single woman, and Maxie is already trying to get her another man, that Uber driver, Dustin. Or, what is it, rideshare? Whatever. One of those kind of things. And I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, she's just divorced. She is still in love with this man, Dante. It's not fair for Maxie to do this. Like, I know Maxie moved on pretty quickly after her husband was killed, but, you know, this is not fair for Lulu. So since we kind of touched base on Maxie and Peter, let's talk about their stories this week. Now, it was revealed through Shiloh that Peter was actually in Afghanistan when it came to Drew getting kidnapped, which I don't think is a surprise to any of the audience, but for whatever reason, Peter is scared that Shiloh knows, and Shiloh totally uses that aspect to manipulate Peter into helping him get out of jail. We don't know how he's going to do that yet, but obviously they're going to do that because, God forbid, they end this frustration with Shiloh. It is like they are finding reasons to stretch the storyline indefinitely. I'm so frustrated by it. Ugh, every single story that is going on right now is being put to a standstill and stretched out. I feel like the show has no idea what to do next. And this is where we're at. It is frustrating as hell. Listen, I get that shows need to do long story arcs, but that being said, like, there's long story arcs, and then they're stretching a storyline out so long that the viewers lose interest. And I think that, just judging by, you know, GH's social media, no matter where you go, every comment on like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you know, every post anywhere is all about the fact that they want the Shiloh storyline to end, and the writers are choosing to stretch it out even longer than it needs to be. No one wants to see Shiloh anymore. Everyone wants to see him gone. Just end it. End our misery, guys. Just end it. Oh! Alright, now let's end that rant and talk about the kids of GH. Now, obviously Cameron is having a hard time coping with the fact that Franco is gone. I mean, he blames himself for what happened to Franco, and, you know, he witnessed all the things that went down himself, so he's hurting. And then, of course, Jocelyn does not want to go back to school because, you know, all the things that went down with Oscar. He's not here anymore. That's her reality, and she doesn't want to face it. Trina and Cameron are trying their best to kind of cheer her up, but it's, you know, it's going to be a long road for her. Carly and Jax each had their own ideas on how to help Jocelyn cope with the situation, and eventually they found common ground. Oh, speaking of Jax though, how hysterical was his date with Dr. Obrecht? I loved it. It's hilarious. I love that Obrecht has a crush on Jax. I don't think anything's going to happen, obviously, but, you know, it was fun to watch. And Jax teasing Carly about it was cute too. I miss Carjax so much. I know that they're not going to get back together anytime soon because Carly and Sonny, for whatever reason, have decided to renew their vows for the 800th time because, you know, we need to see another Carly and Sonny wedding. They were so inspired by the fake wedding that Mike and Yvonne had that they just have to get married again. Oh, I almost forgot about Dev. Dev is now working for Sonny in the warehouse, and one of Sonny's goons tries to frame him for stealing cash, and Sonny doesn't believe it, and it's revealed that the goon did actually plant the cash onto Dev's jacket. You know, it's one of those weird things. I want to like Dev, but I just feel that he has been planted into Sonny's organization to try to bring him down. Probably one of Raj's men from, you know, Turkey trying to do this. I can't trust him. Finally, let's talk about Ava. Now, this week, Ava has insisted that she's been seeing Kiki in her dreams just staring at her. She thinks that Kiki actually came to her, but the psychic thinks that it's just a dream. And this week we actually see Haley Aaron reprise the role of Kiki Jerome, and she just tells it like it is to Ava. Basically, Kiki thinks that she will never find peace because Ava is so blinded to what motivates her, I guess. Kiki, if that is really you, then move on. Like, leave and go into the afterlife. The best revenge is to have the best life, or in your case, you know, afterlife. But, you know, just, I don't know, I don't even know what to say about this story. It's a little bit annoying. This psychic being everywhere, kind of revealing things, and then nothing really happening in that regard is just repetitive. Anyway, I think we finally hit all the highlights for this week and the other weeks that I've missed. So what did you guys think of GH? Do you agree with my opinions this week? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and I will catch you guys next time. And this time there will be a next time. Fingers crossed. Bye!